everyone. I am finished with another 2 weeks of training, and week one brought some pretty exciting things. Not in regards to running maybe, but to my personal life. My sister and her 6-month-old baby, my niece, they came to visit me here. So that was really exciting. My sister watched one of my episodes, and she had an idea for my episode. She thought that I should have a wise saying at the beginning of every episode. So I do have a wise saying, and then I have a modification to the wise saying that my husband Jeff came up with. So my wise saying is, in the cookies of life, sisters are the chocolate chips. And then my husband made this modification. In the chocolate chip cookies of life, sisters are the unexpected raisin. Yeah, you can thank my husband Jeff for that one. But I did have a nice visit with my sister and Fern. I did get the runs in. I ran 4 3-milers when my sister was putting Fern to bed at night. So I got some night running in. I got the old headlamp out, and it's kind of funny. I'm a little scared of running in the dark. So I do need to get used to that. And then I got my long run in on Saturday after I got back from taking my sister to the airport. So I got a 10-miler in. It's New Year's Day. I'm going out for a 3-miler, and my sister and my niece are visiting me while my husband is gone. So it's hard to leave the house knowing that there's all that fun inside, but it's only a half hour. I'll be back before I know it. Going out for just a little 3-miler tonight. Testing out my headlamp. It is still hard to go out for runs because my sister and niece are here, and it's all sorts of fun inside, but I'll crank this out and be back before you know it. My sister's gone, and all the fun and excitement of having her here is over. She's on her way home. I think she's probably on her last flight right now, so hopefully I hear soon that she landed. But I'm going out for a long run. I have not been on a long run for quite some time, so I got to get back to it. This week I did 4 3-mile nighttime runs, which was pretty interesting. I'm a little scared of running in the dark, so I have to get used to that. So yeah, going out for the run. It's 46 degrees or warmer, so it's a great day for a run. It's sunny. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good run. I might try some run walking in this, but we'll see how it goes. So 10 miles are finished. It went pretty good. I did some run walking. Not sure what my pace is. I suspect I have about an 11-minute pace, but I feel really good. I'm a little cold right now. It got cold at about 7 miles as the sun started to go down. Also ran out of Kleenex out there, so my sweatshirt bore the brunt of that. But it was a good run. Feels really good. And I am going to go in and clean up and have a glass of wine. The second week of training also had some pretty exciting events in it. One, in me and my husband's personal life, we had a barn delivered. And then the second thing is I actually pulled the trigger and signed up for a race. I signed up for the Zumbro 50-mile endurance run in mid-April. I think it's April 15 or 16. The run starts at midnight.
and I do 3 17-mile loops, and there's plenty of aid stations along the 17 miles, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I gotta buckle down and get the training in. Okay, I'm registering for the 50-mile run. There's only 50 spots left, so I kind of have to get in. This is serious, folks. So this week I went to Dordt College's recreational center again. We had a lot of winds, and it's pretty hard running in 25-mile-per-hour winds. So I went to the rec center and ran around the track for 4.5 miles, and then I did 3.5 miles of uphill treadmill work, and I got to 15% grade, and it is really tough when you get up to 15%. I couldn't walk at a 15-mile-per-hour speed. I had to bump it down a little bit, but each time I go, I hope that I make a little more progress on the grade, and gotta get my muscles, quads, and everything used to walking uphill for when I'm running on trails at Zumbro. I got up to 15% grade on the treadmill, so I did about 3.5 miles uphill walking and running. It's a sunny day, but it's really windy, so that's why I decided to work out inside. Plus, if I ran on the gravels, they're so soft that it would be a really hard slog. So I did some uphill treading, and then I ran around the track for about 4.5 miles. Really good workout. Got the old Gatorade out today, and now I'm gonna have my after run apple. So, good workout. In other news, since the beginning of the year, I've been trying to lose weight. The weight hasn't been coming off, so I have been restricting calories. So I eat 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day, and I'm pretty good at cutting myself off when I'm finished, when I've reached my limit. And the good news is the scale is showing results already. So I believe I have 3 pounds off, and that will give me 5 more to go. So that's good. To keep the long runs from being so monotonous, I have started listening to podcasts, and I believe the channel the podcast I'm listening to are it's an Ultra Runner podcast, and I've listened to 2. The first one I listened to was about a man called Bob Hearn, and he's older, I think he's 53 or something, and he also does a run-walk method. And so there's a pretty interesting podcast to listen to about Bob Hearn. He's kind of an interesting guy, and he's more in my age group, so it gives me hope that I can do it too. I might be maybe 6 years, 7 years younger than Bob, but I would still say I'm sort of in his age group. And then another podcast I listened to was about a Puerto Rican named Patsy Ramirez, and she ran Badwater, and she's also over 50. So it's really interesting listening to Patsy. She's the kind of lady that just goes out and does things. So yeah, that's helping me keep my mind engaged during the long runs, and they pass a lot faster. Yesterday I got in a 15-miler. It wasn't very conventional. I went out to run on trails at Newton Hills in South Dakota, and the trails were pure ice. So I ran around and on all the ice and on the trails there for about 5 miles. I actually ran on the road to get back to my car. And then I started my way home. I stopped at another trail system since it was right on the way, and did close to 7 miles on those trails.
Running on the trails in Rock Valley now. It was just too icy at Newton Hills, so I got 6.8 miles in at Rock Valley on the trails. Pretty uneventful, except there was kind of a weird red minivan riding around back in the campground. That kind of creeped me out a little. But otherwise, my phone's running out of power, so I would actually crank out the last 3.5, but I want to record it, and I don't think my phone has enough power to do that. So I'll just have to do that at home after my phone's charged. I took along some crackers and peanut butter and honey to refuel with, and then today I thought that I would try to pour Red Bull in my Gatorade, so I'm going to do that. And when I crank out the last 3.5 miles, I'll see how that feels with the Red Bull. Never had Red Bull before, so I don't know, something to try. My phone died, so I went home and I did the last 3.5 miles at home. Interesting thing to me is that I mixed in some Red Bull with my Gatorade for the last 3.5 miles, and I drank it a full 20 minutes before I did that run. So the Red Bull and the caffeine, the Red Bull was working. And my last 3 miles were at a 9:40 pace, and the fastest miles of the day. So it's been a good 2 weeks of training, and I'll see you next time after I've completed another 2 weeks.